Goodness. Sorry, I got distracted by looking at quick actions. Um, so, I'm going to stream marker here. Cool, and then we're going to transition. So, yeah. I don't know anyone who's in Italy. All I can speak to is from my perspective as an Iowan, as a member of the United States. If you ask me, I think this shit's getting real. It said that the United States was probably about 9 to 10 days behind Italy. My guess is that Iowa is probably 9 to 10 days behind the USA. Because it's really weird because, we're basically smack dab in the middle. And if you look at the numbers, and there's a lot of things in this world. You can see the nicotine stains on my finger there. Sorry. Yes, I smoke. It's bad for me. Deal with it. That's how I deal with some shit right now. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. But what I'm saying is that if you look at the numbers, and numbers don't lie. I was seeing something on Facebook that someone said, like, statistical bias. And there can be statistical bias based on how you interpret the statistics. If you just look at the pure numbers of it all. And again, this is my opinion. I guess to be fair, I can't speak to any authority about knowing what statistical bias is. I'm speaking to my knowledge based off what I see, based off what I understand. But the numbers are real. The numbers are most certainly real. You had Italy, it went spike. And I think the U.S. probably is going to spike. I don't know if we took drastic action in time. I know where I live here in Iowa, like I said, I work at a grocery store, and Iowa got declared a state of emergency, or not a state of emergency, a public health emergency, something like that. Basically saying that for the state, they shut down, like, dine-in at bars, dine-in at restaurant, like, can't have gatherings of more than 10 people. Like, we pretty much followed the suit of what's happening nationally in terms of taking care of things, just shutting down. Everything needs to be shut down. And I work 2 jobs that don't get shut down. I'm a delivery driver, which means I'm still here. I'm still delivering my part-time job. I'm still scheduled to do it tomorrow. And then I work at a grocery store. Shout out to Hy-Vee. I don't always agree with your shit, but I respect the living hell out of my bosses, and I do appreciate what my bosses' bosses are doing. I think they're making some good decisions here, and I haven't always agreed with their decisions, and that's okay. I will still work for them. And like I said a couple nights ago, it's been rough on me. There's been some stuff going on the past month or so that's really made me dislike my job, but I still, and I think I would philosophically disagree with some of what corporate is doing, but I respect them, and I will do what they ask me to do. That's a little bit of a side tangent. Maybe a little bit of covering my ass, but at the same time, it is what it is. My hair's a little funky. Time to hide it back behind that. But so I'm literally like, I'm dealing with the public every day, and I think Iowa is this weird state where we're relatively progressive in some social things, but when it comes to, like, society, government interaction, how the government handles people. It's a very conservative state. And I think a lot of the people that I've been around um, or heard at the grocery store or have been forced to interact with, which is a terrible way of putting it, but I'll put it that way. Tend to see everything that the government's that our federal government is doing and our state government is doing as an overreaction, and I think that is wrong. I think it is not an overreaction. I think it is something that is necessary, and I think at the end of at the end of everything, the hope, the absolute hope, is that people can look and go, well, I think we overreacted because we didn't see the spike in Italy or anywhere else in the world. But personally, I still think it's coming. Um, the spike happened in Italy about a week ago-ish, I think. About a week-ish ago. And I think the United States is going to begin to see that spike pretty large here in the next, I would guess the next week we'll start seeing a bigger growth in numbers. Hopefully not as drastic as Italy. I think something else that separates the United States and Italy is Italy from I guess geological, maybe not geological, but just from a land perspective. Italy is a lot smaller, so it can travel a lot easier. The United States is pretty large. It's at the end of the day, it's all fairly spread out, and that will kind of slow it, but it will still. I think we'll still see the spike. Anyway, I think I was probably another. I'm guessing about another. I would guess about a week behind. Maybe not a week behind. I'd say we're a few days behind, because you see at the coasts, and then just kind of, if you look at images based off pure numerical data, it's funny watching the red slowly come into Iowa, and it's definitely here. You have community spread cases, which, if you're not in the know, that basically means someone got from someone. We don't know where, we don't know how. There's no way to track it, is the problem. We don't know who to tell you need to quarantine outside the person who already caught it from someone. And I hope, my intuition and not my heart, my intuition says that we're going to see a spike here, and it's going to be very scary. Because there's not, in my opinion, I don't think there's enough people that are taking this seriously. And no one's going to listen to me, but I don't care. I'm putting it out into the world. I'm putting it out into the universe via the interwebs. I think we need to take this seriously. I have two parents that, I guess my dad might have pre-existing conditions out, and I think my mom does too, technically. So technically they're at risk. They're not, they're in their 60s, if I remember correctly. I'm terrible with ages. I'm absolutely terrible with ages. But I also have a 2-year-old son. So, on both sides of my life, I have people that would be affected by this. And so that gives it some perspective for me. And maybe that affects me and gives me a bias, which, I think is understandable. We all have biases at the end of the day. But yeah, this is scary stuff, guys. And I'm working in 2 jobs that are going to put me kind of in the line of fire. And I hope nothing bad comes from it. I'm not going to lie, there's part of me going, I wouldn't mind just having an excuse to stream for 2 or 3 weeks. But I also feel like shit the entire time. I would probably still do it though, because I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this. You know, and I talked about this a couple times the other night. I am not focusing on the money. I would love to make a few cents here and there, but it doesn't matter. What matters is really building, and it takes time. And honestly, I'm probably gonna tell myself this at the end of every stream. I'm putting it out on the internet, but it's a reminder for myself that it's a patience thing, and I also have to do more with TikTok and Instagram and Twitter, and I'll leave it at that. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up. Um, I'm I'm tired. I fell asleep about this time last night, and I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning, and I've been up since, give or take about an hour for a nap earlier today. So I'm exhausted. Anyway, be safe, guys. Seriously, be safe. I want you guys to be safe. Um, I think go watch your favorite content creator. I recommend Markiplier. Markiplier did a video on this, and I think it was spot on. It's coming from a guy who lives in California, which, I mean, that's kind of, I guess that's a hotbed in the United States at the moment. So, I mean, you got a big homeless population, you got that kind of stuff. So, it's the real deal there. We might be fairly sheltered from it in Iowa, but I think we'll still see kind of a scary increase. And everyone stay safe. Just stay hygienic. And tomorrow I'll definitely be on. One second. Because I work tomorrow at 4. I'll probably hop on around noonish, and it'll be a longer stream. I'm guessing we could be looking at a 2-3 hour stream. I'll be programming for probably half of it, and we'll play some Ori for the second half. Yeah, because I might play some Blind Forest tonight in bed on the Switch. So, anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I hope you guys stay safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.